All right, here we are at the end. This is mostly cosmetic stuff and the stuff that makes it fun, sound effects, scoring, all that type of stuff. Um, so I'm gonna first make my game look more pretty. So I don't want to bore you with all that. So I'm going to turn all these off. The way to do that is go to variables and just unclick them, and so they're not in the way, and so on and so forth. Okay, and then I'm going to rearrange everything and kind of make it good, um, and hopefully then I'll come back because I don't want you to be bored with that. Okay, so one thing that I've been playing with, I don't know if you noticed the shape of the walls right here. If the ball comes in at exactly the right angle and it hits them both at the same time, it like transports through, but it's only one in a very seldom chance of having that happen. So play with that. If you find an answer to it, let me know on how to make it so it never can cruise through there. Okay, so we'll probably have it happen during the video. So, and then we'll just say, hey, look, there it happened. Anyway, I made the code a lot cleaner. I organized it like this. You right click and just say clean up blocks. It'll put them all in a big long line, then just organize them nice and neat so you know what's going on. For some weird reason, it stacked all mine on top of each other when I opened up the project, so I fixed it. And so on and so forth. Anyway, so let's get moving and make this work. Okay, one of the things I want to show you is how to do broadcast. Okay, let's zoom back in so you can actually see what I'm doing. Let's just look at one of these. Okay, and let me go back. Okay, so one of those, and that's a kicker, right? Oh, there it went. So it found its way down in there magically. So I didn't see it, but you can rewind and look to where it did that and that angle. Figure out what that angle is and see how it hits, and just kind of think about what's happening there and can you find a solution. All right, I'm not going to fix it because I've been on this too long. All right, now broadcast. Here we go. So that's in an event. So broadcast message. So we're going to broadcast. As soon as we touch a kicker, we're going to broadcast. We're going to broadcast the name of that kicker. Okay, so which kicker? It'll actually broadcast it. So let's go into kicker one, and let's say when I receive a message, okay, and it's going to be kicker. Make sure you spell it exactly the same way. So when it receives the word kicker, it's like, so I'm saying as soon as the ball hits the kicker and it's in there, yell out kicker. And then when the kicker hears it, it's going to actually do something. Now, you're probably wondering, why can't I just do when it touches? And the reason why is because in the ball code, we did everything to run without screen refresh. So it could actually run through all that code on hit kicker before the kicker even realized it's being touched. Because I had a student do that, and the ball would hit, and it would work every once in a while, and every once in a while it wouldn't work, and that's just because we kicked it into turbo mode on each of these, and that just makes it so you can't do that anymore. So we're using a broadcast instead. All right, back to kicker. So whenever I receive kicker, so whenever it tells me I've been kicked or that it's in the kicking motion, we can do all sorts of fun stuff. Okay, I'm just going to show you. I'm going to show you a couple things. So one thing that we can do is play the. Well, be careful! Don't say until done. Say just play pop. So there's that pop sound, and that's kind of doesn't sound like it would sound on that. So I can go to sound and go to pop. I'm going to slow it down. Okay, that sounds better. And then I'll go back to the code. So there it is. So it's going to play a sound. It's going to, if you have costumes, you can switch between costumes. Or you could just do something really simple like change the size by 10. And you can change that number. And then after it does that, you want to wait. Don't make it wait too long, just do like a 0.1, and then change the size back to what it was. So just do a -10. Okay, so we're making a pop, we're making sounds. There's also another thing I want you to do. Go to variables and let's make a variable called score for all sprites, so all of them can affect the score. So here's your score, and you can put it down here where the ball doesn't go normally when it doesn't teleport through. Okay, so there's your score. So we could say, hey, change the score by however many points you want to give it when it hits the kicker. Okay, so you can have points for the pegs, you got points for kickers, you could have a thing that you just roll over and it creates a point. I've seen games where they create things that just kind of follow the ball and that actually do negative points because you're supposed to stay away from it, and it's like a homing missile trying to get after you. I mean, just use some imagination and go crazy with this one, okay? Anyway, so let's try this one out. There it goes. So every time it hits, we're getting the sound, it's changing and doing all sorts of fun stuff. Okay, so now I'm not going to sit here and do that on, that's going to get annoying. I'm not going to sit here and do it on every single one of them because that's your job. Okay, so all you have to do is put a broadcast in each of these and do what you want it to do. So if you want it to make a noise every time you hit the space bar, you can add it to that. All sorts of fun stuff. And another thing you can do, I've had students say, okay, the letter Z for this one and the letter M for this one, and you can do each flipper independently, okay, and have fun with that. All right, let's do another thing. We're going to paint another thing here. We're going to call this a trap. So we're going to create something. Let's fill it with red. Okay, so red, bring it down here. Oh, come on. There we go. All right. So this is going to be the trap. Let me actually do something here. Move it down just a smidge, move it over, all the way over, all the way over, and give it a name of trap. Okay, so you're going to trap is the game over. Basically, if the ball hits this red line, you lost. Okay. All right. Now, let's go back to code and the actual code. Control control. If I touch the trap, it's alphabetical, just so you know. All right, if I touch the trap, then game over. Game over is basically what you can do is in the control, just say stop all. Boom. So as soon as it does stop all, the game is over. And I can actually say game over. We can go to looks, say. Now you want to do anything before it stops. Okay. Say game over for 2 seconds. So let's try that and go. Okay, let's come down and game over. Okay, and that just ends the game. So then when I hit the flag, it's like, hey, game over, game over, game over, until it finally gets out. So instead of waiting for it to say game over, let's put it, where do you want the ball to start at the beginning of the game? Let's say right at the top of my head. All right. So at the very don't put it inside the forever. You want to put it up above it. So you could actually say, okay, when I click the flag, go to, there we go to XY. And it actually has the position that you put it in. So if I move this, I put it in a different position, the go to changes. So put the ball where you want it, then drag that over and it will type it in for you. Anyway, so now when I hit the flag, it'll go. And here's another thing we can do. We can set the you can set the point in direction. You say, hey, point in direction. Is there random position? Go to point in direction. You could say point in 0, or you can use an operator. Okay, pick random and stick that in there and say from, now what's the direction of the ball? When the ball is, let's see, direction. When the ball is looking up, so anywhere from like -36, -50 to +50, that would work. So -50 to +50, and it'll automatically pick anywhere in there. So you can see, I mean, there's lots of stuff you can do here to make it work out really good. Another thing I want you to do is to have a high score, to keep track of the highest score that's ever been on your game. So let's make another variable called high score. Score right there. Say okay, and we can put this down here. So you have your score and your high score. So your you'd have to say if score is greater than high score, then set high score to the score. Does that make sense? So if the score ever gets above whatever the high score was, put the high score to it. Okay. All right, let's actually control that. We can put that, you don't want to, okay. If, right here. If, let's get an operator. And then last time. Okay. And we want our variables. We want score. If score ever gets greater than the high score, then set high score equal to score. Okay, let's play that. Okay, it's going. Okay, then the problem is we got to make sure that we reset the score every time somebody plays the game. So at the very beginning of the game, you want to set the score to 0. Now when we play it, it remembers the high score, but it sets the score down to 0 again. When you keep wanting to play, you have to click the flag to start again, and voila. Here we go. And we have a game. So take some time, make it look good, make it fun. When you're done, to turn it in to me, you go File, well, save it first, and then File, and then Save to your computer. After you save it to your computer, then you'll go to Canvas, and you'll upload that as your file into Canvas. Okay, and then I can then use it. Don't hit share. We don't want to give this away to other students, so don't share it. Save it to your computer, and then just give it to me directly. All right. Don't want to give away the answers to everybody else. You worked hard on this. Don't make it so everybody else doesn't have to. All right. Anyway, so have fun with it. Hopefully it was fun, and We'll see you in the next unit. And end.